Welcome everyone to Chibi No Podcast. This is Miles Tech Guy.
Mister.
And we got some exciting news today. So as we all know, we're leading into the weeks of the big E3 conferences, and we're getting E3 news this week, obviously. So let's just jump into the biggest one. Google Stadia had their conference today. Diego, did you get to watch some of it?
No, I was at work, but I did hear about some of the stuff they were introducing and the price point on some certain things and what games are coming out.
Yeah, so they showed some cool things. They're pretty realistic on the 4K. They're saying like with 4K, you can with 5.1 surround sound, you can get around 35 megabits per second. I would aim for about 50 to be honest, to be realistic, but that's reasonable. We do know it is streaming and all that. They did say for the 4K that it's the Pro model. So the pricing, let's get into that. So they said that the service for the Stadia Pro, which is 4K, is $10 a month. It will give you access to 4K, 60 frames per second, 5.1 surround sound, but it won't include any games though. You'll have to purchase those things separately.
So it's a subscription to have that clear of a what's it called, connection, right?
Yes.
So
and if you want 1080p 60, that's free.
That's not bad. I mean, that's not bad at all.
The problem people are having though is you have to pay for the games, and the reason why people are worried about that is because the xCloud, you have things like Game Pass, which you pay $10 a month for, where I'm sure the xCloud's going to be free with some of that stuff. So I'm sure you're already going to have a huge amount of libraries of games where this isn't giving you any. So that's where people are kind of worried.
I'm not too. You're paying for the $10 a month. You're paying for the graphical upgrade, and I think that warrants it for the $10. For the free, what was that? Yeah. Sorry.
So yeah, if it's the free version, the 1080 60, then you got to spend the $60 retail for a game that's streamable only. You don't have any physical or any way to necessarily play locally, where say like the xCloud system, you have Game Pass, but you also have an Xbox or a PC to play some of those Game Pass games locally if you don't need streaming at the time. So that's where people are getting a little worried.
See, that's what I don't like. I don't think you should pay full price for a game that you're streaming. Basically, it should be like a $40, $30 thing. I think if it's $30, it's gonna be a whole lot better for them, because a lot of people will buy it. For that kind of situation. Or if you want to test it out, I think the Stadia would be perfect for testing out games. So it's like, you want to play this game for 2 days. Okay, it's $5, $10 to test it out for 2 days, and then you're done. That way people don't need to use Redbox and then download the game, which takes however long it takes for your internet connection. Whereas with the Stadia, if you're getting it free, you're going to be solid. You don't need to download anything. You just play it, and then you can test it out for the 2 days. You know what I mean?
Yep. So we know that November is when they're going to launch the test starts for this. So you can pre-order. You can get a Founders Edition, which is $130. It comes with a controller and the Chromecast Ultra. The Chromecast Ultra is the one that supports the 4K. So it's a device you can already get like right now. And I've seen them for like $69 at Best Buy. You can get them for. But so on top of that, it'll come with like a copy of Destiny 2, and it will also come with the Shadowkeep expansion. This is for those pre-orders, and you get the Founders Edition. The controller is like a dark blue. It's like a special edition, which looks cool. If you want to buy the controller separately, though, it's $70, which is extremely high. I don't know why.
It just depends on what it comes with. Because I mean, look what we said about what's it called? The Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch controllers, the HD Rumble and all that stuff. Those are very expensive. So if it has the same features like HD Rumble, and you can feel vibrations, if there's certain things that this controller has that other ones don't, then I can warrant the price. But right now, for just saying $70, and I don't know what it does, face value, it's too expensive.
Yeah. And so with the stuff they're showcasing, they showed some games that'll be available for purchase. They got like Xenoverse, Doom Eternal, the Darksiders Genesis we'll get into later, the Destiny 2, and so on. We'll leave a picture there. But I think one of the announcements they dropped that was kind of a new reveal today was the Baldur's Gate. I'm not into playing those type of games, but I think it's awesome that they showcase something like that. Yeah, you never played Baldur's Gate, did you?
No, not that I recall. Maybe a long time ago, but I hardly remember anything.
Yeah. Okay, no worries. So then we have the Destiny 2 reveal on the new DLC. What'd you think of the DLC video?
It's pretty dope. They're going back to they're going to what they were promising us in the first place with Destiny. It's an MMORPG type of shooter, a looter kind of thing. And I feel like since they broke away from Activision, their restraints are gone and they're able to do what they've been wanting to do from the very start. Because I'm part of the Destiny community, even though I don't play as much at all, really. But I still follow a lot of these hardcore Destiny players, and seeing their reactions to what Bungie's doing for Destiny was what they originally intended to do for Destiny, where there's these skill trees for weapons, skill trees for your characters, like more in depth. And it's amazing that they're going to go this far, and it just makes me happy as a gamer, as a Destiny player, and what they're going to do with it.
Yeah, thanks Diego for adding into that. You're kind of our Destiny guy in this group of ours. So, the one and most exciting part that I'm excited for is I've been wanting to kind of go back to Destiny, but not really wanting... well, okay, let me rephrase that. I've been wanting to go back to Destiny 2 on PC. I stopped about when the first DLC started coming out during the launch of the PC, and I kind of moved over to Xbox because most of my friends were there. But I've always wanted to go back on the PC. I got a better rig now, the ultra-wide, 144 frames per second monitor. I really want to test my rig on that because that game was awesome on PC. But I've always been discouraged because my character doesn't carry over that I put tons of hours in.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the big announcement, Diego?
When you can do cross-save, I loved it.
Yes.
Cross-save. I feel bad for some of the hardcore players because... they have multiple accounts on all three consoles, all three systems basically. So they're pretty much choosing because you have to sacrifice two, kind of a thing. Whereas for us, we only have the one or two. Like you went through all three basically, but you have one character that has everything, whereas mine is only on Xbox. So if I want to transfer it to PlayStation or PC, it's going to be an easy transfer all around.
Yeah, this is awesome. So any of you PS4 or Xbox guys and you want to go to like the PC or something like that, it goes... Can you do PS4 to Xbox? Is it cross-save between all three platforms or is it just PC to console?
I think it's all three. That's what it sounded like. That's what it sounded like to me, was all three.
That's awesome. So I'm excited for that. So let's get into some other news. This is really exciting for me. Diego, did you see the Star Wars Fallen Order key art?
No, I did not. Like I said, I was at work, so I was behind on a lot of things. But okay. I'll look at it. Go ahead and
search it while I talk here. So the Fallen Order thing I really like. So you see what we all speculated was the Inquisitors are definitely going to be part of the villains, tracking down this Jedi that we're going to get new to. I think the cover looks completely badass. It totally represents this is a single player game. I am so damn stoked to play this game. Like the key art to me looks really, really good.
It looks beautiful, the game.
Mm-hmm. It looks amazing, right?
Yeah, I like this a lot. It looks really cool. You can tell that your character is a very young person, maybe like early 20s or late teens. And
yeah, he's probably not even a Jedi Knight, right? He's probably just a Padawan.
Yeah, just trying to do what he can in his life, and just seeing what happens to Jedi post Emperor Rise,
Yeah, I know the apprentice's name is Cal Kestis. I'm wondering how he's related to, or if we know his master per se, or maybe his master might be just showcased getting killed in like Order 66. I don't know how they're going to play into this. I'm just so damn stoked.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. It looks pretty cool.
And just for everyone that knows, the EA's live stream, the only one we really care about, I think, during the EA presentation, is on Saturday at June 8th at 9:30 Pacific and 12:30 Eastern. So we will cover that when that drops. But anyway, it's looking awesome. Next set of news, there's just a lot to go over. This is one I'm sure you really want to talk about, Diego. StarCraft, the first-person shooter that there was a project on, got canceled. And it seems like, from what the leaks and kind of information's coming out, is possibly a Diablo 4 and maybe an Overwatch 2, but I say 2 lightly. Who knows? We've heard rumors about them going into maybe a single-player game, or maybe it could be some kind of new expansion DLC. We don't really know. But what are your thoughts on that?
I know that this was in the works for a while, that they wanted to do a StarCraft first-person shooter, and I didn't know that this was going to happen. I know for a fact Diablo 4 has been in the works, but they pushed it to the side for that stupid Infinity, whatever, Diablo Infinite crap.
Don't you have a phone?
I don't give a shit about mobile games.
I know.
But yeah, that's what I felt like. Overwatch 2 is about a good time frame. I'd say it's very early for an Overwatch 2 because usually Blizzard takes like 10 years for them to make a sequel to any of their games. You know what I mean?
So, do you think it's Overwatch 2, or do you think it could be like that rumored single-player campaign game they're trying to make with it, with maybe the original assets, so they don't need to build like a new engine, they can use their already asset models, get it out quick enough?
I don't know. I could see it being like a Titanfall 2, where Titanfall is the multiplayer and Titanfall 2 is the multiplayer and the story. So I could see Overwatch 2 being the story and the new multiplayer update, which I would be 100% for. And I mean, you don't really need to update the graphics as much. I mean, maybe change designs of characters and add like 6 more characters, you know, kind of a thing. It's all up in the air at that point for me for Overwatch, but Diablo has been a long time coming, and a lot of Diablo fans have been waiting for this because Diablo 3 came out like what, 10 years ago?
God, has it been that long, dude?
Something like that. I think like past over 5.
It was May 15th of 2012, bro.
So 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Almost a decade. So it's been a while.
I'm super looking forward to a new Diablo, dude. I'm so looking forward to one.
Yeah, same
When
here.
they announced that phone one is the biggest disappointment. Which leads us into the next one. I am really, really stoked about this. I've always been a huge fan of the franchise. Darksiders Genesis was revealed today, and if you like Diablo, you're gonna probably like Darksiders Genesis. So the last Horseman, we haven't got to play Strife. He has the 2 like guns. There's been speculation, right? Is it gonna still be the third-person action platformer Zelda type with the God of War, style combat that we're used to? But since he has guns, people weren't sure. It's like, it's just going to be third person with some shooting mechanics. Is it going to be a first person shooter? No, they totally did it. Subverting expectations. It is a top-down shooter Diablo style with actual platforming in the Diablo style game.
Yeah,
I thought it looked dope. That looked incredible. Some people are a little mixed and concerned. Dude, I saw it and I was like, hell yes, please. I think it looks incredible. I cannot wait.
I think it's pretty dope. I want to see what they're going to do with it. And from the Darksiders series, it's not like they're half-assing the game. They're not just being like, oh, releasing a game to make money. No, we're showing you a different way of playing this game, and you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, I can't freaking wait, dude. I'm so stoked.
It looks cool, and it looks like a high replay value game. Like, if it's going to be anything like Diablo, where you have to hoard and raid and attack people and gain new armor sets, this game is going to last 7 years.
And yeah, you'll notice some, like, if you watch the trailer, it has some Uncharted elements where, like, it's almost like a side 3D for the Diablo style, the top down, and you can, like, jump on platforms just like you do in the regular Diablo games, but you're looking for the top rather than from behind. It still has, like, the elements of it, and you get to see his guns, like his shotguns, and it's like this assault rifles, and it goes to beams and lasers, and it's just cool. This looks freaking awesome. I was not expecting this at all.
Sorry to interrupt you real quick. I do hope, because what we're seeing right here too at the very end, it shows where it's going to be on Xbox, PS4, Nintendo Switch, Steam, and Stadia. And yes. I hope what they can do, since we're going into this realm now, is cross-play with all these people, because this game, in my opinion, does not look so demanding that they can't do a code where we can play it all together. So if you want to be on your Switch and I'm on my PC, we can play together and do that. That would be cool, wouldn't it?
Did they incorporate the co-op in it? I just thought it was kind of
it looked like it was a co-op on some parts.
Yeah, because if you could add, like, all the other Horsemen. So we don't even know if this is technically Darksiders 4, even though it's with Strife, which we never got a mainline game with him. He might just be showcased, but we might still get some of the other people. Like, for example, like, you could play as, like, Wrath, for example. Think of, like, Diablo, right? When you have, like, all your different type of characters. Maybe they'll do that in this, and there is co-op. I would love that.
Yeah, I would enjoy it. I think it'd be pretty cool. I think they're gonna go do something like that, and just, I don't know. I'm excited for people who play Darksiders, and I'm excited to play this, because this is like a new take on Diablo-esque style, you know?
Agreed. And so since the Darksiders has always followed the combat's been more on the God of War style, the old school God of War trilogies, not so much the Forest. But anyway, on top of that, it's always been a hybrid between that and Legend of Zelda. So I'm wondering with the top-down, if they're going to do more like the top-down Legend of Zelda type stuff for puzzles this time inside of it, rather than the more Ocarina 3D style we've had in the other Darksiders. So I think they'll still keep what keeps Darksiders like Zelda. The action's going to be more like Diablo, but what I also am not sure is Darksiders 3 pushed more. It was hard. That game was hard compared to the other ones. It was more like a Dark Souls-esque. I know people hate comparing things to Dark Souls, but it was like you get killed in like a few hits, which is not usual for Darksiders. I mean, until they did number 3. So I don't know if it's going to have that element with like the old like Zelda games. I don't know. So I'm just really excited to see more of this, and I hope they announce more as E3's coming. I hope THQ gets us a little bit more information.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're in this vein right now with this week, and this upcoming 7 days is we're gonna get a lot of information. We're just getting some teases right now, so I'm pretty sure we will get info.
Yeah, and it should be coming later this year. We don't have a time exactly. It's just later this year.
Yeah.
So looking forward to it. Anyway, lots to cover today. I think that's it, unless there's anything else you wanted to cover.
No, that was pretty much it. I was just looking into this. Everything looks pretty cool. And, I'm just excited for the Destiny part because, like I said, I've been a Destiny fanboy for a long time. I've been playing since Alpha, so it's just something I know. So I'm just happy with the cross save.
I wonder if Phil Spencer is a big part of this, because I remember he complained a while back that when it came to PC, he hated that when he normally gets to play when he's traveling, right? On the plane, for example, and he couldn't load his profile that he worked so hard for in Xbox and go to his laptop, and then he can't continue where he left off. So I'm wondering if that was some helpful talks with him being like approving and like, hey, like, can we do this? You know, is that okay? So I don't know. Phil's always been a great guy for the community, and I'm hoping that he was part of it to push it maybe. Who knows? I don't know.
I have no idea, but I'm just glad Bungie got it. I'm just glad Bungie did it.
Yeah, hopefully there's more cool stuff to come from Bungie now that they're away from Activision.
Yeah, I'm glad. So.
Yeah, me too.
Also, okay. Side note, Destiny 2, you can download it on Steam when that comes out, so it's not going to be on the Blizzard thing.
September 17th, right?
Yeah, you can do your cross saves, and then
it'll be free to play for the base game. Isn't that what they said? Is it the base
something
game,
like
right?
that? There's like a light thing that you can do, so you can play the first part of the game, so you understand what happened in the first game to the second game. It's pretty cool. And then, what's crazy of how close to this not happening was yesterday. Bungie met with the Sony execs, and they approved it yesterday that they could do the cross saves. So if Sony didn't say anything, we wouldn't have it today. So literally, Sony's being a dick until the very last minute.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah.
All right. Well, that is just Thursday coverage. I'm sure we'll have more announcements on Friday, and then obviously the weekends we will be full of news. So thanks everyone for tuning in. This is Chibi No Podcast. This is Maj Tech Guy.
Mister.
Have a good one.
See ya.